those are my favorite kind of urban legends, which become more like you said, like TV scripts in a way.
Yeah.
Because there's the true urban legend, and like the one that they made the movie Urban Legend about is, Bloody Mary, or when you flash your lights at someone who doesn't have their lights on and it turns out that they're a killer.
Yeah.
That's the one. When I think of urban legend, I think of the guy who drives around with his lights off, and if you flash him to remind him to turn his lights on, he does a U-turn and comes and murders you. That's the one that and then they spun that one, I think, into they were flashing the lights because there was someone in the back seat ready to kill you.
Yeah.
And
that was awesome. That one
awesome, but I mean,
it doesn't make any sense.
Ridiculous. But it was see it and understand it. That was from behind, right? You're driving behind the person.
There's a woman driving and somebody's tailgating and flashing their lights at her, and she's panicking, thinking that this person is like trying to kill her.
Right, honking the horn, swerving, like get out of your car.
She eventually gets like cornered, and the guy gets out, and she's crying, and and then he pulls her out. And he like shows her that there's a person in the back seat.
Yeah, that one.
It's like a Shyamalan twist.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't hold up. Doesn't make any sense. Like, why this guy was gonna stab her while she was driving the car?
Right.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
And the other one with the hook, which they like. I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of incorporated all these things into it.
Yeah, it was all one story.
There's the couple making out, which is a funny thing, by the way, that people used to just go park like on an overlook and like make out and get hand jobs and stuff. I mean, I guess that's probably still going on in some capacity.
Yeah.
But it was just funny that it was like, let me pick you up in my big ass like Cadillac or whatever, and like park on make out point, and you like jerk me off. But they,
sounds great.
They hear the
Better
scratching,
times.
they hear like the clawing at the door or some shit like that. They speed off, and then they find a hook was hanging from the doorway.
As a kid, that terrified
me. The story was
preposterous.
It was like a story that like, a guy escaped from an insane asylum and had a hook or something.
Had
right?
a hook.
Right.
I mean, like fucking Captain Hook out here.
I believe in these things.
How that guy's gonna get caught real quick?
What kind of idiot believes these ridiculous stories?
This guy lost his hook. Like, there's some guy walking around who at least had a hook before.
What, are you gonna kill me with a nub now? You ain't shit.
He was probably trying to get that thing off. He's like, I don't need. This is ridiculous.
I'm not Captain Hook.
I look much more normal with just a nub than a freaking Captain Hook.
Would you rather have a nub or a hook? Because I do think there's some value in a hook.
I don't think there's any value. I think except for like telling the story. Like I think it's hysterical. I think you're like sitting at the bar with your hook out. It's really funny, but I think it's very impractical.
Captain Hook was like picking shit up.
It's off-putting.
Certainly, it's off-putting a nub.
Not as much as a hook.
I think a hook's a great story versus a nub. A nub's just like, I'm a freak without a hand. So that's like I think that's where urban legends, the term, like originally started, and then it just morphed into weird fake stories about celebrities.
Yeah,
that's like the
is it a hoax?
That's where we blend the definition of urban legend. But to me, from my generation, I think there are two main urban legends, two that almost everybody knows, two that stick with me more than any. Number one is Lil Kim needing her stomach pumped because she had too much cum in it.
That would have to be so much cum.
Totally plausible. Lil Kim's on tour with Puff Daddy and the family. She's sucking Biggie Smalls' dick on the regular. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see Big Papa, I think that he blasts off like a fucking fire hose. You think that Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G., Frank White, is just spitting like... No, he is like... Fireball.
Do you know how much the human stomach can hold?
Think about how little Biggie's dick was getting sucked before he was Biggie, right? I mean, he's a fat, lazy-eyed, cockeyed, disgusting piece of shit. And then all of a sudden he becomes the greatest rapper of all time and gets so much dick sucking. He is backed up, bro. He's got like 20 years worth of just cum sitting there. Biggie Smalls blows loads. Okay? And then after you're done with him, you have to blow all of the locks, including Sheik, who's thick as fuck.
The fucking Junior Mafia.
Lil C's is for sure getting his dick sucked all the time. Junior Mafia's blowing loads everywhere. You've got...
But just by Lil Kim? Like, Lil Kim's taking all the loads. There's no groupies.
Faith Evans is Biggie's wife. She's not doing that.
She's classy.
Foxy Brown's going deaf. She's not here at this point. Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, like, clearly there was, one emerged. There can only be one. It was Lil Kim.
I mean, Charlie Baltimore was still there.
Charlie,
just an extra mouth.
Charlie was, like, the real hoe. You know what I mean? Charlie was like, Biggie's going to fuck you in the ass. Like, Lil Kim was the queen bee. I mean, she can make a Sprite can disappear in her mouth. Okay?
That's true. If anybody could do it, it was her.
yeah, sure. Yes, the stomach.
Isn't it? You know that she had to try it. Like she had to. Like she's like, I'm not gonna say this if I can't do it.
Fitz. Enjoy your thirst. Boom. I feel like yes, the human stomach can hold a lot, but I don't think you need to be filled to the brim
to need your stomach.
It's like
pumped.
when you drink too much, it's not that your stomach is like totally full. You start puking and you need your stomach pumped because your body's just like no more of this poison.
Right.
When you have that
your
much
body's just
semen,
rejecting.
By the
sperm.
way, one of the funniest things, there's the weirdest stuff sticks with you. You know, I remember when I saw this when I was younger, a greeting card, like a happy birthday card, and it's a picture of a bunch of sperm swimming. It's a cartoon.
Okay.
And they're talking to each other. And the one sperm says, how much longer till we get to the egg? And then you open it up and it says, we got a long way to go. We just passed the tonsils. Great joke. Great joke.
That's a greeting card?
Yeah, it was like it was probably in like Spencer Gifts or something.
Right.
But I was like this the first person.
I've seen it too, but I feel like I thought I saw it as like a internet cartoon or something like that. Yeah.
But I mean, the first person who came up with
well done,
brilliant. But Lil Kim, I mean, to me that was like the number one because especially when you hear it, you're like, again, you're like. Can that happen?
Yeah.
Especially sex. You don't know. It's like
I don't know. When I heard that, I was just like, "Yep."
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, right there, hand in hand, one that made total sense, and I absolutely believe, probably to this day, is Marilyn Manson getting his ribs removed so he can suck his own dick.
Yeah. Just
also because you know why we believe that? You know why I believe that? Because I was at an age where I was trying to do that, and I was like, these fucking ribs are getting in the way. You know what? If I just had a couple less. I could probably do this.
And also, like, wasn't he doing weird videos with, like, his shirt off, and he's got that weird, skinny, like, weird almost body. Like Joaquin Phoenix. I think Joaquin Phoenix, like, modeled his weird, creepy body after.
The beautiful people. He almost had, like, a mask on that just, like, it had no face. He was just, like, a being.
Yeah, he was wearing latex and shit like that.
And this
I was like,
how you know.
You better get rid of the ribs.
This is how you know that Marilyn Manson is one crazy motherfucker, because he's got two urban legends about him. He's got the ribs removed, and then he's got the inexplicable that he's Paul from the Wonder Years.
I mean, inexplicable?
Well, no, it's actually very explicable. He just looks like him.
Yes.
He looks like him, and the age is added up. You know what? It's completely explicable.
Right.
It's true. It's just like, yeah, he was the
actor.
That
guy, though, the actor, that must be weird for him. Like, who's that weirder for? The urban legend that he's, like, I'm sure Marilyn Manson is just like, that's not me, and I wish it was, and I would still be getting, like, royalties off that? I don't know. Is that on Netflix?
But like, that guy who just, like, I was just, like, a wholesome actor on this Shanley show. He's like now I'm being compared to the guy who sucks his own dick, apparently. Now, apparently, I'm that guy?
Yo, I would love to have him on the show. Let's get him on Mailtime.
Marilyn Manson or Paul?
Both.
Yeah.
Together
at the same time.
Yes. I think that guy's just a lawyer.
Yeah?
I think
he
so.
He didn't make it and was just like,
Yeah, no, he definitely is like not an actor. I think he's like a lawyer.
He's probably trying to suck his own dick. Aren't we all, though?
ATI featuring Paul from the Wonder Years and Marilyn Manson.
ATI featuring Marilyn Manson would be some
absolutely.
Shit.
Crush.
He'd think I've done all these things.
Yeah.
Like I've killed puppies.
He would have so many answers. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did it.
Right.
Yeah. Like just one more thing. Like, yeah.
Now, for Lil Kim, I think that was one of the best things that ever happened to her. Because she wanted to be like the slut. She wanted to be this like sultry, seductress hoe. So being like the girl who sucks a ton of dick, great.
Yeah. Well, actually, she was probably mad. She's like, I would absolutely not need my stomach pumped.
I could take it all. But Marilyn Manson, also crazy, weird, putting out this very strange, like sexually creepy vibe, right? He probably also didn't hate that rumor.
Right.
What sucks is when you get a urban legend named urban legend in your name. What sucks is when you get an urban legend that absolutely is a fucking nightmare. Like
no spin zone for this.
Like this has to be. Some of these urban legends have to be like you think like, all right, someone was once talking about like, oh man, Lil Kim's so hot, she like sucks so much dick. Like I bet she needs her stomach pumped, and someone just tells that story. Whatever. That's how that one originated.
Right.
Marilyn Manson, like you're such a freak.
Your dick is so big.
Yeah, you could suck your own dick. This one has to be someone with an axe to grind.
Yeah.
This has to be an X.
And it's amazing that it's stuck. Like, because you could, like,
big time.
That's such a preposterous story to make up about somebody.
What we're talking about is Richard Gere. If you don't know Richard Gere, it's probably because he, like, never really did many more movies after this happened. Right? I think it's kind of, like, not ruined Richard Gere, but I think it, like, ended his career.
I mean, he was definitely, like, a leading man.
Right. And then just not.
You know, you don't
Pretty
really.
Woman and Unfaithful. No, not Unfaithful.
Yeah.
Unfaithful?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, some major movies. And then the rumor comes out that he puts gerbils in his asshole. Living gerbils. Which I think was just a urban legend for the gay community in general, right? That they just like put little critters up their asses and
this
let them crawl
story
around.
could not just have. This has to be a story built for many, many years. It is too ridiculous to just be like, I'm gonna fuck Richard Gere and I'm gonna come up with this story.
I mean, these are one of those things where you say to yourself, "Who would make this up?" Like, this is too strange to be untrue. I'm almost inclined to believe that Richard Gere puts his gerbils in his ass more so than someone made up that story because, I mean, who makes that idea up? It's called gerbling. It's like T-bowing. They gave it a term.
That makes
gerbling, known as gerbil stuffing or gerbil shooting, is a rumored sexual practice of inserting small, live animals into the human rectum.
Did it start with Richard Gere?
I mean,
did he invent it?
Let's see.
When does this date back to? Is this like somebody gave
you on Wikipedia? This is a big episode.
Like somebody gave a blowjob and then like 1 year later they were into gerbils?
According to folklorist Jean Harold Brunvand in 1984.
Yeah, like that's like Richard Gere primetime.
Yeah. He said it was involving a mouse and an unidentified man. In subsequent versions, the animal was a gerbil, and the story was applied to several male celebrities. So,
imagine Richard Gere's the only one it's stuck with.
What about fucking Hugh Grant?
They were saying this about Tom Hanks, and I get the one.
Invented this. Why do you only remember?
I learned about it from Tom Hanks. I heard the urban legend imagine Richard Gere being like, when I heard the urban legend, it was about Tom Hanks. How did it stick for me?
I mean, who else had it? Let's see. I'm checking my citations here. From Gere to eternity. I mean, people really
brutal one. I mean,
out here
you cannot think of Richard Gere like you think. It's like you hear the name Richard Gere, it's gerbils and then Pretty Woman, and Pretty Woman was a huge hit.
It sounds like there's a couple stories of like this male shows up in the ER, he's bleeding. What happened? We find out that like the idea is that the gerbil, as it suffocates, it scratches and claws, providing an intense sensation. I mean, listen, but like this.
Oh God, I'm about to pull Feidelberg here.
I don't know if when they told this story, it actually had happened. But once this went out there, somebody did that.
Yeah.
People tried that after the fact, guaranteed.
This is like a weird like billionaire who just has experienced everything.
You've done it all.
And probably is very high.
Yeah.
Like has
a lot of cocaine.
A ton of heroin, feeling no pain, and is like, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever. If there's a sensation, I want it. Ugh.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you rather be Richard Gere, the rumor about you is that you put gerbils in your asshole, or international sex bomb and superstar pop singer Ciara being a hermaphrodite?
Oof.
There was just a long time
that's stuck
where everyone said that Ciara has a dick and a pussy. She has both parts. That's so like that is the like there's some troll just said that and people ran
and it just went
and like poor fucking Ciara had to go out there and be like, just have a vagina, guys. No dick.
Like, could Snapchat leak this, please?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Can we get Can we have like an iCloud hack?
Yeah, I'm surprised she just didn't just get it over with. You know, I feel like if
for her to not address that.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is what you should do if Ciara was smart in 2005 or some shit when this came out. You gotta. Like, remember when Mike Piazza was rumored to be gay? He held a press conference saying he's not gay. Yeah. You know what? That tells me you're fucking gay.
Yeah.
Totally fine, but if you have to hold a press conference and be like, Rafael Palmeiro waving your finger, I am not gay, you probably have, some tendencies that you're trying to hide or something you're ashamed of or whatever. You're in the closet. So you have to address it, but you can't address it like that. What Ciara should have done is she should have come out and said, This is absolutely ridiculous. I only have one set of genitalia. I'll let you figure it out. Like, play along with it, being like, maybe I have one, I definitely don't have both.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have both genitalia, you freaks. I've only got a dick, okay? That would have been funny. Everyone would have laughed, and it would have been like, oh yeah, we're being so silly here,